I didn't expect him to say no. That's the part that keeps echoing in my head, over and over. I didn't expect him to leave. I didn't think that asking for more would mean losing everything. My name's Lauren. I'm 32, and 2 months ago, I asked my boyfriend of 7 years if we could open up our relationship. And without raising his voice or asking why, he looked me in the eyes, stood up, packed a small bag, and left. He hasn't spoken to me since. No messages. No late night, I miss you calls. Just silence. A silence so total it feels like punishment, even though he never said a cruel word. We met when I was 25 and he was 28. His name's David. I remember the first time I saw him. He was sitting in the park reading a beat-up copy of Slaughterhouse-Five with a coffee cup balanced on his knee and a sleepy German Shepherd puppy at his feet. I tripped trying to step around him and spilled my iced tea all over his notebook. He laughed, offered me half of his coffee, asked if I wanted to sit. I did, and I never really left. We were comfortable together from the start. The kind of easy, effortless comfort you don't really believe in until it happens to you. There was never a dramatic spark or whirlwind passion, just warmth, steadiness, shared meals and long walks and inside jokes that made no sense to anyone else. We moved in together after a year, bought a tiny fixer-upper house after 3, named our plants, argued about whether to get a cat or a second dog. Life was soft with him, gentle, safe. And maybe that was the problem. Not with him. With me. Somewhere around year 6, I started to feel it. That ache in my chest. That, is this it? Restlessness that creeps in when you've had too much of the same good thing and start wondering what else might be out there. I never stopped loving him, but I started imagining other people. Not in a cheating way. At least, not at first. Just wondering. What would it feel like to kiss someone new again? To feel desired by someone who hadn't already seen me at my worst? To rediscover myself through someone else's eyes? I talked to friends about it. Quietly. The ones who were already in open relationships encouraged me. Said it saved their marriage. Said it made them feel free. Said love doesn't have to mean ownership. I started reading books about ethical non-monogamy, listening to podcasts, romanticizing the idea of being modern and evolved, of having it all. And so one night, a quiet Thursday with takeout containers on the table and the dog snoring at our feet, I asked him, "Have you ever thought about opening things up?" He blinked, set down his chopsticks. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I love you. I'm happy. But I've been thinking a lot about how people aren't meant to get everything from just one person. That maybe we could explore other connections. Just physically. Nothing emotional. We'd set boundaries. Do it ethically." He didn't respond for a long time. Then he asked, "Are you seeing someone?" "No," I said quickly. "No, I swear. I haven't cheated on you, David. I don't know. I want to feel new again. Not because I don't love you, but because I want to love myself more." That was the first time he looked at me like he didn't recognize me. He stood up without saying a word, walked into the bedroom, came out 5 minutes later with a duffel bag, his toothbrush, his keys. I followed him to the door. "David, wait, what are you doing?" He looked at me so calmly it scared me. "You've already left me, Lauren. You just want permission to make it official." And then he was gone. No shouting, no guilt trips. Just a quiet, clean exit. I thought he'd come back. The next day, I kept checking my phone, waiting for a text. "Let's talk." I overreacted. Something, but it never came. Days turned into weeks. I called, left voicemails, sent long, clumsy emails, apologizing, explaining, begging. Nothing. He unfollowed me on social media, blocked me on everything else. The house felt like a tomb, every room echoing with absence. His side of the bed stayed cold. The shelf where he kept his vinyl records collected dust. Even the dog, which he left with me, sat by the door for hours, waiting for him to come back. Eventually, I stopped reaching out. It became clear he wasn't coming back, that I had made a choice, and so had he. I started therapy. Not for him. For me. Because the worst part wasn't that he left. The worst part was that I didn't fully understand why I asked him in the first place. At first, I told myself it was growth, that I wanted more, not less, that I was expanding my understanding of love. But slowly, painfully, I realized the truth. I was bored. Not with him, with myself. David never stopped showing up. He brought me flowers on Thursdays, left notes in the fridge, remembered my doctor appointments, asked about my day like he really cared. And I took all of it for granted. I let comfort morph into dullness. I let the slow beauty of our life together feel like a trap instead of a choice. And when I asked for an open relationship, what I was really asking was for permission to escape myself, to feel exciting again, desired, chosen. But David had chosen me, over and over, and I threw that away for the fantasy of something different. I don't blame him for leaving. He deserved someone who didn't treat love like an experiment, who didn't ask for more while offering less. It's been 6 months now. I haven't seen him. I've heard from mutual friends that he moved to a different city, got a new job, is dating someone quietly, a woman who works at a library, apparently. Kind, sweet, smart. The kind of woman who doesn't need anyone else to feel whole. And me? I'm still learning how to be that woman. Every now and then, I sit in the same park where we met. I sip coffee, watch dogs run, think about how I used to feel with him. Safe, seen, home. And I remind myself that some losses don't come with closure. Some losses are your fault. Some are the price of growth. I just wish I hadn't had to lose him to figure that out. I used to think love was about passion, that the intensity of wanting someone, of craving newness, of burning hot was the measure of connection. I thought that if things started to feel predictable, that meant the spark was gone, that something was broken. But what I've learned, slowly and painfully, is that real love, lasting love, is quieter than that. It's in the rituals, the ordinary days, the Tuesday night leftovers, and the way he warmed my side of the bed when I was brushing my teeth. It's in the way he always asked if I made it home safe, even when I was out with friends he didn't know. It's in the way he waited until I fell asleep before turning off the lamp because he knew I liked the comfort of the light. You don't realize how sacred those things are until you lose them. I had convinced myself that asking for an open relationship was empowering, that it was modern, that I was being brave. But the truth is, I was running. From stagnation, from routine, from facing myself. It was never about the sex. It was about escaping the mirror David quietly held up to me every day. A mirror that showed me the parts of myself I didn't want to confront. My fear of being ordinary, my addiction to external validation, my unwillingness to sit in the discomfort of stability and learn how to make peace with it. Therapy helped. It helped me see the layers, the childhood wounds I never addressed, the belief that I had to earn attention by performing instead of just existing, that if someone stopped chasing me, I wasn't worth being around. David didn't chase. He stayed. He stood still in the storm of my inner chaos, and that scared me more than anything. Because if someone stays, you have to show them everything. And deep down, I didn't think my everything was lovable. So I asked for space, and he gave it to me in the most permanent way. There's this one night I keep replaying in my head. Not the night I asked him, but 3 months before. We were sitting in bed, sharing a bowl of cereal, watching a stupid sitcom. I was laughing so hard I snorted, and he looked at me with this soft, amused smile and said, "I hope you know I love you like this. Not just when you're dressed up. Not just when we're having deep conversations. Like this, laughing with milk on your chin." And I shrugged it off, teased him, called him a sap. But inside, I remember feeling scared, like I didn't deserve that kind of love. Like any minute, he'd realize I was just pretending to be enough. So I sabotaged it before he could. Now, I wake up every morning in the same bed, alone. The sheets don't smell like him anymore. The bathroom sink only has one toothbrush. The framed picture of us in Iceland still sits on the nightstand. I haven't taken it down. I probably should. But I don't want to forget what I had and what I lost. People keep telling me I'm brave for being honest about what I wanted. But honesty without empathy is just cruelty in a prettier dress. I was honest with my words, not with my intentions, not with my awareness of what David needed in return. I haven't dated since. Not because I'm punishing myself, but because I'm rebuilding. Not just my sense of worth, but my understanding of commitment. That it's not about novelty or chasing a high. It's about choosing someone every day, even when the butterflies are gone, even when things are slow, even when you know them so well there are no more surprises, only deeper knowing. Sometimes I fantasize about seeing him again, in the grocery store, at a friend's wedding, on a walk with his new girlfriend. I imagine our eyes meeting, a pause, a shared smile. I never imagine us getting back together. That part of the fantasy died long ago, but I do imagine saying one last thing. Just one. I understand now. I think that would be enough, because what I'm coming to learn is that growth doesn't always come with reunion. Sometimes the biggest lessons come with a full stop, not a comma. And David was my full stop. He taught me what real love looks like. Not the kind that begs or bargains or bends. The kind that quietly walks away when it's no longer being met with equal courage. I used to think that was weakness, that if he really loved me, he would have stayed and worked through it. But now I see that what he did was the bravest thing of all. He chose self-respect over false compromise. He chose peace over potential. He chose to believe he deserved someone who didn't see his devotion as a limitation. And he was right. He did. If you're listening to this and thinking about asking your partner to open things up, I'm not here to tell you not to. Every relationship is different. But I'll say this. Before you ask for more, make sure you fully appreciated what you already have. Before you go searching for excitement, ask yourself if what you really need is depth, and if you're brave enough to create that depth with the person beside you. Because sometimes the answer isn't out there. Sometimes it was holding your hand the whole time. And once it lets go, it might never come back.